OG Culture presents KemPtah Mathematics. In this section, I'm going to go through 3 sections. It's divided into 3 sections. The first section going to be the law of identity is a minority. The second section is KemPtah fabrics and the law of identity crisis. And the third section, KemPtah link-up formula and its relationship to Nefer calibrations. Shout out to my ancestors who brought me to this present moment. Shout out to the gods and goddesses out there on YouTube and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the gods and earths for keeping Clarence 13X Supreme Mathematics alive. Clarence 13X is one of the soldiers, one of the giants I stand on. Black Supreme Mathematics is the progressive continuation of Supreme Mathematics and the end of White Supreme Mathematics. Clarence 13X is one of the gods, one of the kings that created a mathematical system that synergized the abstract and the concrete. He's seen the meaning of numbers behind their quantification characteristics or definition. He peeped the qualities of numbers and how it relates to black people and calculating for black God freedom. KemPtah Ashe Sasa. The law of identity is a minority. The law of identity crisis, the heart of white supremacy ways and reasons of thought, is only a minority. It is a drop of water in the ocean of KemPtah. As we will see in the mathematical fabric, that the law of identity crisis acts as an insensitive, inflexible calibrating machine. This separation of sides is what makes their math sterile. It's like this. If the only thing you've seen to be food is chocolate, then all you think food is all about is that chocolate. But in reality, it's nothing but great variety. In reality, we don't see chocolate, but we see fruits, vegetables, beef, fish, etc. Food isn't based on chocolate, just like mathematics isn't based on the law of identity. Seeing modern chocolate Eurocentric mathematics as correct is like seeing all food being chocolate, or just thinking that chocolate is the only food. KemPtah Black Supreme Mathematics is the real variety of math, and all sciences who use it to validate it will find real variety too. Seeing modern chocolate Eurocentric math as correct is like seeing all foods being nothing but chocolate, or seeing that KemPtah Black Supreme Mathematics is the real variety of math, and all sciences who use it to validate it will find real variety too. This means all modern technology incorporated by capitalism is actually a minority of the world. If math lacks sensitivity and flexibility, then the material energy offspring, whether you're talking about computer, electronics of some sort of simple type of thing, or you're talking about advanced machines, none of them will have sensitivity and flexibility. They will share the same weakness. No digital computer can ever think, be creative, or be creative in a production, even if it's built by nanotechnology with the diameter of the solar system. Since their basic structure is faulty, then the complex structure that comes out of it will have the same weakness. The European apple don't fall far from the European tree. European apple tree. KemPtah isn't a mathematical trick. It is a divine mathematical system of thought and practice. KemPtah fabric and the laws of identity. In this section, we will begin talking about how we use KemPtah formulas to show the total fracture of Eurocentric math that the white race's institutions codify as modern math. What makes modern math a collection of dead bodies is the simple fact that the internal organs of math are on the outside. I mean, come on. Any organism or living body which has their internal organs on the outside is either dead or dying. That's the early game that I peep. A dead body cannot respond. That is why technology based on math cannot respond. Technology of Europeans is still a stillbirth of their mathematics. Notice 6 in the broken eye of Heru. Fabric is the sole source, and no number that is consistent with it can calculate or calibrate other than 6. This shows you the whole insensitive and inflexible qualities of all the so-called modern mathematics has innately. To make something digital or even Eurocentric computer think, whether fuzzy logic, quantum computer, or neural networks, Europeans has a better chance of making a rock think. The modern pilgrims still think Plato's cave or the Matrix is the whole world. They think all food is chocolate. They think the best revolution is reform, and they think change means staying the same. New formulas made or stolen by Eurocentric scientists is just a cosmetic chemical added to the closet. Now let's check out KemPtah formulas. All calculations are consistent with 6. At the same time, they are consistent with all other numbers in themselves. How is that possible? Only through mathematical setup of scientific method or KemPtah related can such solution be found. Since Eurocentric math is based only on 0 being on the top and the bottom of the equal sign, and no matter what other number that is there, this leaves the math open for accepting contradictions as a problem. It leaves these mathematicians open to be destroyed by life. I just mention this because hating our enemy means loving our people. I'm sure you don't want to see your people develop qualities similar to your enemies, such as white power, destroying communities, and miseducation, etc., etc. I love my people so much that I will show my people the logical, mathematical pitfalls. KemPtah fabric represents a communal, mathematical culture, mathematical black love on a collective scale. 0 and 1, or any simple KemPtah formula, is mathematical black love on a personal scale. Love and hate are synergies of sides. The European fabric is just organizer, just to be organizing, put it like that. An organization that is isolated. Modern European or modern Eurocentric math can tell you the measure of a phenomenon, but not the essence of internal problems or process. Just like the diameter of the planet and how big the pyramids are, they cannot discover the mathematical essence of the planet nor the pyramid. Just because you can paint a picture of what the phenomenon appears to be does not mean you could create the phenomenon in essence and blackness. The appearance of phenomenon is given to our perceptions and sensations, but the essence of phenomenon can only be correctly correspond to the black God conscious mind. This black God conscious mathematical mind cannot be explained or contained by modern mathematics. Modern mathematics is highly developed, but it cannot develop no computer that could think, no pyramid, nor can it construct a realized or real planet. KemPtah math is the real mathematical pyramid. The KemPtah derivatives that I first developed had Nefer calculation before, but I wasn't aware of it. KemPtah formulas hold endless calibrations in quality and quantity, because KemPtah link-ups or synergies with the most diverse form is possible. This means at its very seed stage or elementary phase, it has potential of all formulas, but the realization of that particular formula is in the moment. To make that formula technology is in the moment. The technological analogy in the near moment will have these qualities too. The most simple tech or simple technology will be the most advanced and vice versa. I notice certain electronic components that are specific and complex will be the most universal and simple. The reason I say this because under Eurocentric thought systems, up is down and down is confused with up. Not that that is real synergy. So the most complex electrical component look complex because the law of identity crisis is cursing production. The straitjacket of that is institutionalized production. This means how they produce is backwards. So when they do their little refinement or institutionalized creativity, they make something simple into complex, and something complex is refined into straitjacket of simplicity. Remember, in the law of identity, complex and simple is disassociated, dislocated. Hence, complex can never know itself if it isn't connected to simplicity. If, for instance, up and down was separated, when you fall, you won't know which direction you're going, whether the direction is up or down. That's what the world without gravity is, the disassociation, dislocation of up and down, or up and down relates to each other in the most least possible way. Dislocation, disassociation of opposite takes the ground right from under the system of any type of thought. We feel full because we feel the hunger. We feel a place to stay because we didn't have nowhere to stay. We feel cold because we felt the warmth, the warmthness. We could take up something like a skill because we don't have no skills. KemPtah link-up formulas and its relationship to Nefer calibration. As above, so below. First of all, KemPtah fabric is a super expanded form of KemPtah simple or expanded formula. A KemPtah formula, thanks to the internal synergy of sides, its innate ability of being the equation of divinity, has distributive, associative, and commutative properties or qualities. What this means, the equation has oscillation and resonance. In other words, KemPtah has translation, which is a mathematical ability to sense, and transformation, the mathematical ability to flex or move. When I talk about sensitivity, I'm not talking about oversensitivity, and when I talk about flexibility, I'm not talking about stretching, nor am I denoting just primal qualities pushed on mathematics. Sensitivity will be denoted as reflection in general, and flexibility is a reflection realized. Hence, all things has flexibility and sensitivity. Eurocentric culture and math be the least sensitive and flexible. KemPtah link-up is a two-dimensional form of KemPtah fabric. Now let's look at KemPtah link-up and KemPtah Nefer calibration of 6. In KemPtah Nefer doubling, 6 enclose or internalize the mathematical I of Heru, which is 0 equal 1. Notice in doubling in the I of Heru as 6 doubles to 12, notice also the source rotating or KemPtah derived, which is the source of doubling and not doubling in itself or as an isolated incident. Doubling is manifested through angular motion in the heart of KemPtah formula. It rotates because doubling 0 do not make 1, but make 0. Hence, doubling is just the surface of what really is going on. If doubling by itself was really the case, then KemPtah formula shouldn't have never worked. But that's contrary to reality in Black Supreme mathematics. In any case, 2 is the child or prodigy of 0 and 1, and not 0 or 1. Basing 2 on only 1 is what gives the modern mathematics its limitation in their cavemanish calculations, which appear consistent in counting only physical phenomena such as rocks. That is why white boy called calculus counting pebbles instead of calling calculus fire math or ether math, ether math. 6 is the first middle or synergy number on the tree of life. At the same time, 6 represents the first middle of KemPtah Nefer processes. The 6 represent the point in which KemPtah, its element or offspring, or Nefer, are both on the same stage. Geometrically, the lifeline of the universal and the particular is one of a kind at that point of 6. The KemPtah link-up form of 6 hides this because KemPtah embraces not only 6, but all other numbers. What is linked up in the link-up formula is 0 equal 1, which in each equal sign is present. The particular or moment of turns are distributed, associated, and communicated in the synergy between double numbers, such as 12 and 24, 24 and 48, 6 and 12, etc., etc. KemPtah Nefer doubling also translate and transform the qualities of the link-up by way of KemPtah derivation and Nefer addition. Both forms are synergy of sides. At certain points, they are absolutely the same thing, though. That's what the 6 mean. That's what 6 do to the KemPtah Nefer and link-up formula. 6 is the 0 and 1, the original energy of syncing Nefer with the link-ups.